How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about BBIG, which posted up a green day while the market was falling off a cliff towards the end of the day. We'll talk about it further in this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for BBIG. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $3.20, being up 2.56%. On the low, it tested $2.97, and then on the high, tested $3.22. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 19.8135 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 36.312 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, but we still saw some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 58.78. And when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, but we are above the 21-day EMA, the 50-day, and as well as the 100-day. So BBIG is continuing to look good. We ended up testing a low of 297. Remember I was saying most preferably we want to hold support right at $3. So being at 297, not too far off whatsoever. And this does definitely set us up well going into tomorrow, because if $3 can hold, I'm looking forward for us to get past the high of 322. And the next level you'd want to keep an eye on for BBIG would be right above $3.38, because if we get that push, then the next level to keep an eye on will be right around 360. And upon breaking 360, we get to this level around 381, and that's where I want to see that push going to the 200-day moving average. And the reason why this is very important, because this would officially take BBIG out of the bear market that it's currently in. If it decides to have a pullback now, maybe you might have some profit taking and so forth. As long as we stay above the 21-day EMA, which is at $2.84, BBIG is going to continue to look good. So let's go on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for BBIG. As we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So taking a look at the recent filings we have here the 29th, we have iShares Edge MSCI that purchased 113,510 shares. We also have iShares Morningstar Small Cap ETF that purchased 6,439 shares. And we also have iShares Morningstar Small Cap Growth ETF that purchased 24,542 shares. And then when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 48.46%. And then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 8.73 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 150,000, updated 8 minutes ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 143.18%. Wow. And then when we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 29th, it was at 44.59. And then for the close of the 30th, being at 48.46. So one thing that remains clear, BBIG does have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for BBIG. So we see on the inflow it's at 12.37. On the outflow it is 13.69. Keep in mind these numbers are in the millions. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 0.70. On the medium it was 8.20. And then on the small it was 3.47. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large it was 1.10. On the medium it was 9.76. And then on the small it was 2.83. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, March the 31st, it was an outflow of just under 395,000. Taking a look at the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, you can see there was more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 10.95%. So not too bad for a volatile stock like BBIG. But one thing that was clear though, since we did have a strong green day and we respected support levels, you know what? We'll talk about it further in the final thoughts. So let's get into it right now. So for my final thoughts for BBIG, I want to see us continue to hold up $3. This is key because the breakout level that I want to see is above $3.38. Getting past this level, then we can make that move to 360 and then 381, and then essentially wanting to make that move to 4. I would love to see this happen in the month of April as well. And with the strong sell-off that we had towards the end of the day and BBIG holding up, is something that we have to take notice of. And we see that there is clear demand when it comes to the retail side. If it decides to pull back or if it wants to consolidate going into tomorrow, I want to see support hold up above $2.84. This will be key, knowing that we do have a gap to the downside that needs to be filled. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. And also we have the short borrow fee that is well over 140%. And for the high on the day, I think it was well over 160%. So when it comes to BBIG, it could get very interesting, and that's why you want to keep this play on your radar. And then when we take a look at the recent institutional ownership, there has been some interest there, so I want to make sure that you're clear on that. But as far as this play is concerned, it is a speculative play. If you are an investor, that is perfectly fine. Do your homework, do your due diligence. But if you're only going to be trading it, have a game plan. Know your entry, know your exit. You already have a clear idea of where support is. So you want to make sure when you get in around that support area, you have your stop loss to protect yourself on the downside. And if it ends up moving up, then you want to move your stop loss so you can protect your initial investment. And the reason why I'm emphasizing this, because I'm hearing endless stories about people buying stocks at the high and then having it pull back, and then they're like, oh, I'm a bag holder, I got to sit down and wait. Again, you want to make sure that you're making changes. If you continue this behavior, you're not going to be seeing success inside of the market. I'm not telling you to completely sell out of your position. All I'm saying is protect your initial investment. And it's a lot more efficient when you have a stop loss strategy in place. So let's see how BBIG performs going into tomorrow. I will continue to keep you guys updated, and we'll be talking real soon.